Welcome to Gravel Trap Legends, first round of the Group 5 Turbocharger series here for the DRMs. And we're at Cleveland Airport, this 10 turned, very tricky airport run. And we're going to have two 20-minute timed races, rolling starts, the normal Gravel Trap GTL safety car. If two cars are involved in an incident, they can call for a safety car up until the final 5 minutes of these 20-minute races. There's no compulsory pit stop, and there's three track cut warnings before a drive through with 120 kilometre per hour pit lane speed limit. And we've got our race start for 8 p.m. So a nice night race for these two 20-minute races. And I've got alongside me the one and wonderful Mitch Kemp. Welcome, Mitchy.
But yeah, it's a pleasure to be back in the comms booth along said you, but there should be some quick races in these cars.
Yeah, they sure will be. As we're just going through some of these six selections that they do have of these Group 5 cars, all magically done by Thunder Flash mods that you can find on his website as well. So they all come from Project Cars 2 and all into the game here on Automobilista 2. So what a wonderful thing that is to see these cars here. So we're just into qualifying now, Mitch. So we should be seeing some very insanely fast times in these cars.
Yeah, 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 we should and going up practice there will be a couple of hairy moments for these cars as well being a airport.
Yeah, exactly. Like, as we all know, airports, we've landed on them many a times when we've flown, and they're bumpy. There's different surface changes. You can see here now we're on sort of some asphalt. They'll probably move off asphalt onto concrete. There's so many. There's the painted lines. There's so much that they have to contend with here, Mitch. It's going to be white knuckle on the steering wheels for 20 minutes, I believe.
Yeah, 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 it's kind of like racing on a street circuit because you have asphalt, you have the painted lands, you have concrete. So, so yeah, this should be a very interesting qualifying and 20-minute race, that's for sure.
Yeah, they've got the sun to contend with here as we're riding on board Esky. Bit of smoke in front from the car as they're lighting up the rear tyres. And these Group 5s, they're pretty much prototypes in a standard shell car, and they just went to town with anything they could throw at them. Turbos, you name it, big wide tyres, the guards on the side of the cars. You can just see how they just got the big flares over the wheels.
Yeah,
Insanely fast. I think that was around the same time as the rally days as well, where they had the what was it, the Group B rallies or whatever they were called. So it's a
yeah,
pretty wild era.
yeah, 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 yes, but I don't know much about that era because that was before my time.
Yeah, that's where Wikipedia comes in handy, I guess, to start
Yeah,
trying to find some research. Obviously, yeah, these cars were pretty iconic, I think, with the manufacturers just throwing dollars at these cars to have the supremacy. And we're looking at Scar 666 in the Datsun, and that's a 280 ZX. It doesn't really look like a 280ZX with the big wings and the flare and all at the back, but you can sort of pick it up a little bit, can't you, Mitch, if you've seen a 280ZX out on the street?
but but um but um but I reckon these cars would be cool, really cool to use on the rally cars layout of Spa on Automobilista too.
Well, there you go. So then if viewers watching the stream here, maybe if you've got this Thunder Flash mod of the Group 5s, that's something that you may want to have a go at when you're on Automobilista 2 next. Fire it up with the autocross, what was it, the Spa autocross layout, Mitch?
Yeah.
That'll be
Yeah.
pretty hairy, I would
Yeah,
say. Scar goes up to position 14. Let's have a look. Esky Man is actually on pole position, who was watching earlier.
Esky Man has just gone to the top of the table with that last lap.
Plenty of smoke on the tyres, coming off the tyres from both of these Ford Capris. He's up at the moment, Esky, as well, so he's going to go one better if he can get a good run here. He's just following one of the other Capris, and hopefully he doesn't get held up into the final chicane. He turned 9 and 10. And what's he got for us here as he goes over the line? He just gets up a little. He obviously costs himself some time as he goes for a little wide run there, as it was actually the bloody 9 that he was getting he was following there, Mitch. So in position 3.
The bloody 9 had a bit of a hairy moment back a couple corners ago when he found that outside wall.
Yeah, he sure did. Now we're looking at Cuckoo in the BMW. I think he's the leading BMW. It's a BMW behind him, absolutely sideways as he enters himself into turn 5. And these double right-handers, you can just see how there's a big dip there through the corners, a bit of drainage from off the main runways here, and that's a little problem in themselves here for these drivers.
This is one of the DLC tracks I actually forgot about actually, but it looks like a cool little layout.
Yeah, it's obviously known for the Indy cars. They ran back in the IndyCar days, back in '93 and '95, or through to '95, '96, I think. There's a big support for IndyCar to try and come back to Cleveland as well, even to this day with the current cars. As you know, it was a fan favourites because they could get onto the grandstands and they can pretty much, they could see the whole circuit. So it was fairly popular. This Grand Prix that they had at Cleveland.
A IndyCar race he would be really good.
Yeah, so it's worthwhile checking on some YouTube clips, obviously, to search on IndyCar at Cleveland Grand Prix, and you're going to see some fairly great races. They've had some classics back in the day around this circuit. Not too technical as such, but I think the hard part for most people here at Cleveland is picking their braking markers, because being so open, not much visuals as far as trackside. Like trees or like structures and all that, because you're at the airport.
Yes, but I found if you're not you used to the style of track, the USA Max, you you will have trouble with any of the US tracks because because I found the US don't make the braking markers as clear as other tracks around the world.
Yeah, I think, excuse me, I got a little frog in my throat here, but I think it's they namely have numbers, don't they? Like they have 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So I don't know if that means 500, like 400 meters, like they use them just the numbers. But you are right, their marking is a little bit different to what we're used to around the world as a normal marking. As Baron B finds half a second in his best time there, could move up
Yeah,
into position 15. But currently, Cuckoo's still got pole position. He's on his last lap here with 20 seconds remaining. Let's see in
yeah,
this sector here if he's just as he comes out of this right-hand corner, Mitch. There's the final sector here. We'll see if he's got a green to his name. No, he's nearly half a second down, so he's not going to better here. But we've got Eskiman just coming out of that final corner for the run to the flag. Let's see if he's got anything. He's 0.2 down on Cuckoo. Will he get pole position? No, he won't. So, oh yes, he does actually. Esky Man up
yeah, yeah,
on
yeah,
front.
yeah. Escape Man um goes to the top with a 1:11.994. So what
Yeah,
a good one by Escape Man.
yeah, wasn't it good just to break that 1 minute 12 too? And he only just did it as Christopher Razor coming through in this Momo red Porsche livery. Well, what's he got in store as he hits turns 9 and 10 this fast chicane?
We we with Christopher Razor would be out for some redemption, especially because of how the last round of the last championship went.
Yeah, definitely. Here we're just going through Jay Walker. Struggling there at the back there in position 20 at the moment, trying to get to grips with a car. Unicorn started to find some pace a little bit. I think he was driving, I don't know if it was a Porsche or a Nissan. We've got Zach 18 here in position 13. He came third in that Power and Glory series that we did like the final round too, Mitch. So
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
finding himself down the back there a little bit.
yeah. Yeah. Yes, but as we have learned about Zach Tam again, he will just put as much as he can into the car to get up that grid.
Yeah, exactly. He sure will. But as you said, Esky Man and Cuckoo, they were in some fine form during the Power and Glory. Gun 180, we didn't see him in the what was it, the GT Classics. He was in the Group C's. He did fairly well, missed a few rounds.
Yep.
And we don't actually have McFly, who came home really strong, came home, I think, second in the championship for
Yeah.
the GT Classics.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes, but that was a cracker of a championship to get this year of racing going for both of the leagues.
Yeah, exactly. And we had obviously DDF. He's obviously Daniel D. Finney. He's not actually in this little mini series. It's only a mini over 3 weeks, this Group 5.
Yeah.
So we're looking obviously at Zach 18. He's the man that actually came third in the championship, and also No Frills came fourth in that championship, and it doesn't look like No Frills is on the grid either tonight. So a few guys missing from the GT Classics that we saw the other last week for the final round at Hockenheim. But they will do their formation lap here. It is on a standing start, so they'll still go do a rolling start. So they won't go at the green here. So we'll go through the grid where we can. So obviously we got Esky Man, obviously on pole position, and he's in one of the Nissans. Old Skylines. Cuckoo in the BMW, classic black livery of the BMWs. And then we've got another Skyline in Cuckoo.
Yeah.
Pick up the bloody 9 in a Zach Speed and a Ford Capri. And we've got a few Porsches here. G-Dude in one of them, the 46. One here. G-Dude in a Capri as well. Christopher Razor in a Porsche, that Momo one. I'm sure we're going to see a bit of action there in that red Porsche. Smithy, I think he's in a Ford Capri there by the looks of things there, Mitch. Number 43.
Yep.
Mark 860, good qualifying run for him to be in 10th position, so he'll be happy with that. Didn't have the best of luck actually in the GT Classics for the opening series of GTL. But obviously be looking for a good show in here. Got 2 races here tonight to try and get some good points to start this championship. As Stu in Porsche as well. Kiz is in what the Datsun Classic livery there. As we said, Zach 18. Bales is in a BMW there as well. As they're all starting to get lined up here now for the run to the start-finish line. And look at the big scoop of the BMW here. As the boys were saying, it's like a snowplow.
But it looks like the cars are just getting ready, and it looks like they are off.
They sure are, and Rangy around the outside, making it too wide. This first corner can be some troublesome, but they're all getting through here nice and cleanly. And look how spread they are here out on this long, big, wide runway. They're going to probably have 4 or 5 different lines into the turn 3 here.
Though, which there was a bit of contact between someone and the bloody 9, and that takes him to the back of the grid. So I wonder if this will trigger a safety car.
Yeah, I think it has, Mitch, because it looks like they're all slowing down here and all single file coming down here. And the pit entry is on your right, driver's left of these witches' hats. So that's the entry in, and they got to be careful too. They don't come in too hot either. Speed limit of 120, but as soon as they come straight into there, it's the pit limits need to be on. That's exactly right, Sandy Cool. We've mentioned the Thunder Flash mod. What a great opportunity to see some of these great Group 5s out in action for league racing.
And I have looked at a couple of his other modes, and he just does some fantastic modes for Automobilista too.
Yeah, he sure does. He's got plenty there. Doing a good job for a lot of the AMS2 guys. As we're looking at Stu up into 7th. He actually started down the order a bit, so he's been able to make a few positions up here, and he's racing very keen.
Yeah, yes, Sue is racing very cleanly, and he's having a good battle with G-Dude.
Yeah, G-Dude's just forcing the issue there, and that's put Stu now, going wide, near
Oh,
into the wall. I'm not too sure what's happened there. He's had a bit of a moment there. He's bouncing all over the track, so he's going to find himself into
glitched
the
out
pits.
or something.
Yeah, he lagged out a little bit there, but Sandy was just asking what the general feel amongst the members here of these cars and the handling and the force feedback. From what I gather, they think they're a lot of fun. Obviously very lively, and it looks like
Yeah,
we've got another virtual safety car here, or are they
yeah,
still running there? I think they're still racing here. They're 3 wide.
yeah, yes, I can confirm the force feedback and handling of these cars are really fun, but they are a handful to drive.
Yeah, well, one would expect that they will be a handful to drive with all that horsepower that they do have on these cars. Massive turbos, big wheels as well, but the tyre technology not quite there. But you can see here the guys are having a lot of fun out on track at the moment, as they're just coming up to this point where this yellow flag was, and that's still looks like Stu still caught out there on the track. Oh, and a big hit
Oh,
there by, I think it was, wasn't Mark, but
Mark,
no,
Mark,
it was
maybe.
I thought it was one of the Porsches. Christopher Razor it was, and you can just see there how far off the
Oh.
track he is. He's right on the infield.
Yeah, yeah, y- yeah, but, and in that clinic, he also blown one of his, headlight bulbs, it looks like.
Yeah, it's interesting there that they didn't call a safety car early on when Stu was caught out on the track. I'm not too sure what's going on there. But obviously now Stu he's retired to the pits. We've dropped one now, but that's been costly for Christopher Razor. He's coming into pit lane there, fairly damaged there, Mitch. He'll be
Yeah,
lucky if he's going to continue in this short 20-minute race.
yeah.
He's going to be in there for a while. But Mark 860 up a spot into position 9. Zach 18 started in 13th into 8th, so good move from him. But up front, we've got to keep an eye on Rangy Rover. I think he qualified 3rd or 4th. He took the lead of the race when they went 3 wide.
Yeah, 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 yes, but, the, that is, that is such a shame that Sue had to retire to the pits.
Yeah, sure was a thing. But, these things happen. Obviously, we were sort of on board him, and it went a bit funny on his screen, so maybe he had a little bit of a screen freeze. Because then the next thing we did see him in that tyre barrier, but riding on board this BMW, chasing Rangy Rover up in front. And I think Rangy's in the Ford Capri from memory. We'll have to have another quick little check, but I'm pretty sure that is the Ford Capri in front. Got some attitude going on there first. Front row seats as he runs up against the wall, Cuckoo does. And no, it's another BMW. So 2 BMWs out in front at this stage. And just behind them, then we've got a couple of those Nissans. Oh, we've got a Nissan and a Ford. So there's a good little mixture for this battle of this lead, this 4-way battle. And Esky Man's trying to get back. He was the pole sitter back in 4th, Mitch. So he's got a little bit of work to do here, but
Yeah,
he's down the inside.
yeah, 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 Yes, but these cars are so look like they are so much fun to drive.
Yeah, we'll have to get a feel from the drivers of what they think here. This is the opening round, but next week they go to the Nordschleife, 5 laps around the Nordschleife. Now that's going to be a very difficult challenge for these drivers. Before then they go to the I think they go to Spa, the old Spa
Oh
layout without the chicanes.
oh I think we have had Christopher Wazer just come out of the pit.
Yeah, it's a long pit stop for him as this four-way battle is very, very tasty indeed. And it's Eskiman seeing if he can put a challenge on Gunn. And Gunn will be enjoying mixing it up with the GTL guys again. He's been running with AusNZ for a little while.
Yeah.
And he'll be loving the competition with a lot of familiar faces here. There's another good battle going down mid-pack too from after here, probably for positions 8 all the way down to around about 14th, 15th. As it looks like Eski has made that move on Gunner down the inside of turn 9, and at the same time Cuckoo's looking around the outside for the lead into turn 1. And Rangy holds it down the inside, but it's a battle on here with Eski Man trying to see if he can split the two BMWs. Just see how long he had to wait to get on the throttle. Then you could hear it, couldn't you? He just gingerly waiting to get on the throttle because he's got so much horsepower here. But these BMWs, they're going for it. But they got to be careful because here comes Eski. Oh, where did Rangy go? Out on the grass. And a bit of a beefing going on here between G-Do and Left. Left's been able to hold on to it just. Nice one. But Eski Man's now up in the lead of the race. He was 4th at the start of this lap, I think it was, and he's now found himself in 1st.
Yeah, so what I won by Eski Man to get into 4th.
Yeah, and it looks like Gunn's going to follow him shortly. Bit of oversteer, bit of power coming under those rear wheels. He's trying to duck it down the inside of Cuckoo if he can. Fire. What a good time seeing the at night here, the fire billowing out of these exhausts. Zach 18 up into 8th position, trying to climb up a little bit higher if he can. Smithy, obviously we saw that last lap having a little bit of a moment too, I think so. His lap time was a little bit slower. But if Zach 18 can keep going, he may pick up this position from Smithy before the end of this race. And he's got Left not too far in front either as the Unicorn comes into the pits in the number 1 Porsche. Obviously either for, doesn't look like it's any damage there. This could be just maybe some fuel. He might have not got enough fuel on Mitch, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
How about the livery here, the 33 of Truey?
Yeah,
beautiful livery of this BMW.
I reckon a lot of the liveries these days are missing like a lot of color because be, be, because it's all about getting the way down now. So you don't see as many colorful leaves as you used to.
No, yeah, that's it too. But look, Zach 18 on the charge here. Oh, his left just goes around. He spun that Porsche, so easy position both for Smithy and
Will it
Zach.
will it be a safety car? Which it looks like it could be.
Yeah, I'm not too sure because the safety car can only come out if if there's two cars involved in an incident. So
Yeah.
then you can find out that that was more, I think, Left's problem. I think he over rotated that BMW, and I think
Yeah.
someone did tag him on the way through. But
Yeah.
look at this little battle we've got here for position 8, 9, and 10. Mark
Yeah.
leading it at the moment as thank you, Mr. Stu, retired and back into the viewing box in his pit bay. Unlucky there as Cuckoo's back into second position. So they've been swapping positions, Cuckoo and Gun 180.
Yeah. 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 They have just been like swapping positions always long. We which is pretty incredible to see.
So what we want to have a look here, there's no love lost here between Mark 860 and Zach 18. So they've got some friendly competition, these two. They know one another and they always want to beat one another. So there's that little bit of extra spice as Zach 18 runs wide. So does Mark 860. So you can see there, Mark 860 wanted to make sure he didn't tag Zach 18, but he's lost out a big chunk of time here now. So Mark's dropping down the order all the way down to 11. So all that hard work come undone, and we're just watching it. So we can just see there from Stu, he couldn't exit the car back to the pit, so he was stranded there. And obviously, I think it was Christopher Razor, unfortunately, cleaned up Stu as well, and probably took out Christopher. He was actually in the top 10, I think it was, Mitch, in that red
Yeah.
Momo Porsche at the time, and he's not having a really good night out there at the moment. But look at this battle
Yeah.
here. He's I think it's Kiz having a look down the inside. He's going to have the run here for the double right-handers at the end of this runway. Very big
Yeah.
bump here as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes, but with just over 2 minutes to go, this is turning into a good little sprint race.
It sure is. After the big 70-minute races we had to open the series, it's great to come back to some nice, shorter, sharp racing here at Gravel Trap Legends. And where else would you want to be on a Monday night than with a bunch of good buggers running here on Automobilista 2 with a beautiful Thunder Flash mod of these Group 5s. Do yourselves a favour and just go and have a look. If you're at Gravel Trap Legends, make sure you have a look at that nice, easy video that Cuckoo posted up. This man here in the BMW, how to load up Content Manager. And you can download that obviously from Race Department as well. And it makes mods so easy. And Mitch, is that how you got the mods on as well, by using Content Manager?
Yeah. Content Manager does make installing mods so much easier.
Yeah, it sure does. But I'll tell you what, Zach 18, wish it was a little bit easier coming out of turn 8 there. He smacked the wall. This could leave him a little bit vulnerable late in this race. They've got probably another 2 laps to go because the leaders should get around, I think, for one more lap. And he's got left right behind him, trying to come back after having that spin. But look down the inside, the bloody 9. Can he make this stick?
Ooh, can the bloody man No, left was just able to stay in front.
Yeah, good driving by both of them. It wouldn't have been able to get much between those two as Eskiman will just pick up where he may be as he's about to get through turns 9 and 10 here to take this last lap. So we've got the pole man. He dropped down as far as 4th, I think it was. He had to work his way back through the field, which he's been able to do well. And he's been very controlling this race since he got back there, probably around about lap 10, I think it was, Mitch. I think the last 6 laps he's been in the lead.
Yeah, 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 yeah. He has been doing really well this
Yeah,
race.
he sure has. And here they are, these boys on their last lap. And oh, look at Mark 860 trying to come back after being out on the grass earlier on. But we'll just pick up on Eskiman here. Looks like he's going to get through these final few corners. He's just got to get onto this one without hitting the wall. He should be able to get through his turns 9 and 10 at the chicane fairly easy. He's got a nice margin on Cuckoo. Just coming up to some lap traffic, but that's not going to be a problem.
No, and what a good way for Eskiman to open up his account for this mini championship.
Yeah, it sure is. It's a good way to start the championship, but maybe they got one extra lap here because they're still going strong, actually. I don't think the race is over, actually, to be honest. So there's probably one extra lap, so they must have the time plus one lap.
Yeah, yes, I think I did do time plus one lap.
So it looks like Kiz has been able to get out away from Zach 18, but look at the bloody 9 still coming hard now late in this race. So he knows that this is the last time around this airport before they have to have a little break before they come back for race 2, and it's going to be the finishing order. We'll sort the grid out for race 2. Another 20-minute race, but here we go with Eskiman this time, Mitch. Call him over the line.
Eskiman wins the opening round of the Group 5 mini championship. Well done to Eskiman.
Yeah, definitely. And he didn't have it easy, did he, Mitch? Because as we said, he did have to come through with a little bit of pressure there. But talking about pressure here, is Zach 18 going to hold on to the 8th? It looks like he will over the bloody 9. So a good result for the man that came 3rd in the GT Classics Power and Glory Series. So
yeah,
he's continuing on his good fortunes out there.
Yeah. Well done to well done to Eskiman, Cuckoo, and Wednesday on the podium for race 1 of the championship. Race 1 of round 1.
Yeah, exactly. Only 3 rounds here for this little mini championship, but it does go to this man, Eskiman. 2nd went to Cuckoo, and then 3rd was a good run from Rangy Rover. He did have the lead of the race, but he ran wide out of, I think it was the turn 7, I think it was, up the top of the corner of the circuit. So there's your results. Eskiman takes it out over Cuckoo all the way down. Left got into the top 10, so that was nice. Mark 860, a good little comeback drive for him after he had his little off. And then Scar, 666 in the 12th position. Truey in 13th. Bales in 14th. Pixel Boy in 15th. Baron B stayed on the lead lap there, so we had 16 cars on the lead lap in that 20 minutes, so that wasn't too bad for their first go here in these Group 5s.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That was a really good, like, mini race.
It sure was. So we'll just end this stream. We'll come back to a new stream very shortly for race 2. So have a look out there for a little bit longer while we get the new lobby started.
Yep.
And while we do that too, guys, just little personal plug here for ANZ CRL. We do have our Daytona 24 this weekend. Cutoff is Wednesday, so we've only got 2 more days to try and reach 10 team entries. We're currently sitting at 7 team entries, so we're trying to get another 3 if we can to make this event run. Otherwise, it looks like we're going to reduce it from the 4 sessions that you can see on our screens there. We're over 6 hours of racing. It'll go to a single session on the Saturday night with the lobby opening at 7 p.m. at this stage. And the race will be a 2-hour, 25-minute race at times 10 time progression, exactly like we did last year. So we'll wait and see what we can do. We really want to try and get this team event up and running if we can. So make sure you go and hit us over at our website, aus-nzcrl.weebly.com. And hopefully you can join in and grab a team and get that entry in by Wednesday, because that's our cutoff before we decide if we have to go to this single events format. So we'll be back very shortly. Mitch will have control of the cameras, and
Yeah.
we'll